Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, in this project, classroom management, I already choose the topic for this project. It's about causes of classroom conflict. Okay, so before I will presentation about the topic that I'm already choose, I will introduce myself. My name is Wulan Anjarwati Kusuma, and that's my name. And I'm in UPSI Cengkareng, and I'm in majoring in English literature. Okay, so in table of contents, there is a conflict, and it is about a classroom conflict, and there is a cause of conflict in the classroom, and the last there is a resolving conflict in the classroom. Okay, next introduction. So conflict cannot cease to exist as they are intrinsic to human beings, forming an integral part of their moral and emotional growth. Likewise, they exist in all schools. The school is inserted in a space where the conflict manifests itself daily and assumes relevance, being the result of the multiple interpersonal relationships that occur in the school context. Thus, conflict is a part of school life, which implies that teachers must have the skill to manage conflict constructively. Recognizing the diversity of school conflicts, it is important to conflict face and resolve it with skills to manage it properly and constructively, establishing cooperative relationships and producing integrative solutions. Harmony and appreciation should coexist in a classroom environment, and conflict should not interfere negatively in the teaching and learning process. So this is a introduction about the conflict. And next, conflict. So what is a conflict? Conflict, according to OB 2004, involves opposite needs in action at the same time, such as apparent incongruity between the human needs of teachers working in a school and the needs and demands of the school system itself. Conflict arises in a relationship between two or more parties who believe they have incompatible goals. In other words, conflict exists whenever an action by one person or group of the person prevents, obstructs, interferes with, injures, or in some ways to stop the desired action of another person or group of persons. So this is about the conflict. And next, okay, so this is conflict classification. There's four. The first, structural conflict. So in structural conflict, causes are associated with equal control situation, possession or research, distribution, and power and authority, geographical, physical, or environmental factors that prevent cooperation and time pressure. It can also be caused by a force external to the people in dispute. It can be helpful to assist parties in conflict to appreciate the external force and constraints bearing upon them. Structural conflict will often have a structural solution. Parties. Appreciation that a conflict has an external source can have the effect of them coming to jointly address the input difficulties. So, next, there's a value conflict. So, value conflicts are caused by perceived or actual incompatible belief system. Values are beliefs that people use to give meaning to their lives. Value explain what is good or bad, right or wrong, just or unjust. Differing values need not cause conflict. People can live together in harmony with different value systems. Value disputes arise only when people attempt to force one set of values on others to lay claim to exclusive value systems that do not allow for divergent beliefs. It is of no use to try to change value and belief system during relatively short and strategic mediation intervention. However, it can be helpful to support each participant expression of their values and belief to acknowledgement by the other party. And next, there is a relationship conflict. So it's occurred because of the presence of strong negative emotion, misperception, or stereotypes, poor communication or miscommunication, or repetitive negative behaviors. Relationship problems often fuel disputes and lead to an unnecessary escalating spiral or destructive conflict. Supporting the safe and balanced expression of perspective and emotion for acknowledgement, not agreement, is one of effective approach to managing relationship conflict. And last, there is a data conflict. Data conflict occur when people lack information necessary to make wise decisions or misinformed disagree on which data is relevant, interpret information differently, or have competing assessment produced. Some data conflict may be unnecessary signs they are caused by poor communication between the people in conflict. Other data conflict may be genuine incompatibilities associated with data collection, interpretation, or communication. Most data conflict will have data solution. So it's about conflict clarification. There is a for conflict classification. Okay, next, classroom conflict. So in this slide, I will talking about the meaning conflict in the classroom. Students are always going to get along, and conflicts are a normal part of childhood. In fact, learning how to resolve tension can teach many social skills, including empathy and sharing. The school builds a social interface favorable to involvement, where conflicts profile in the educational process, complexity being common and daily in class. Thus, in the classroom, different types of conflict occur, being a challenge for most teachers to know how to pass, manage, and resolve this conflict. Teachers often perceive conflict as indiscipline, violence, disrespect, and like all situations threatening his authority. And in experience and experienced teachers in past, the teacher-student conflict as a frequent situation in difficult class. The classroom consistent problems are mainly related to social and pedagogical change. So it's about a conflict in the classroom. And next, in this sequence, there are several conflict situations that teacher can face during class. Some of them indicated by the teachers are mainly the first, the students' presence that did not focus on activities, and the second, student with serious learning and communication difficulties, and the third, student group who does not do classroom work, maintain aggressive and provocative attitude, and the fourth, student with the destructive attitudes towards school materials, and five, student with aggressive and violent attitude towards college and teacher, and the last, student that deliberately disrupt the classroom, such as dominating class discussion, engaging in leisure conversation. And so, in in the third, there is a causes of conflict in the classroom. So, conflicts are inevitable in human relationships, and the teacher-student relationship is no exception. It is common for teachers to encounter situations when their message, despite all their best intention, are ineffective in modifying unacceptable behavior. When this happens, there's a conflict in the classroom. Many teachers believe that the occurrence of conflicts in their classroom is a suggestion that they are somewhat professionally. Such teachers usually blame themselves because they are convinced that there should be no conflict in classroom, where there are good teachers and good students. Okay, next there is a causes classroom conflict. So there's the seven causes classroom conflict. The first, the progressive decline in the teacher authority about student, and students are less likely to form rules and limits which result in conflict. And next, there is a insufficient useful facilities to aid teaching and learning in the classroom. This negatively affects the physiological environment in overcrowded classroom. And the three, there is a lot of space for practical and collaborative activities in the classroom. And four, indiscipline among students in the classroom. And five, provocation and contempt of the student towards the teacher or the teacher towards the student to exercise their authority. And six, lack of students' study habits and carrying out work leading to a negative attitude during class. And last, poor communication between teachers, students, or students. Communication relies on clear and complete message being sent as well as being received. So this is the causes classroom conflict. And next, there is a resolving conflict in the classroom. Okay. Sorry. Um, next, so conflict is an unescapable part of human progress, but it can make for fraud situation in the classroom. There are many options for conflict resolution for educators or teachers who are caught in the middle of classroom conflict. Not every conflict will be the same, and so not every conflict can be resolved in the same manner. But understanding basic strategies can help most situations. And this is to how to resolving conflict in the classroom. So the first there is a take responsibility. Once students have shared their perspective, they need to take responsibility for their own action. So it's mean like you can from student by asking them an open-ended question like what could you have done differently to change what happened. So uh, it's for example, for take responsibility. And next, there is the share, listen, and check. Student can work on reliability, listening, and paraphrasing when they check for understanding. So, like example, they can start sentence with "I think I heard you say you feel," or "So you want me to try to." Okay, so it's mean like students need to listen to each other, share their issues, and then check that they understand them. And this can take practice and coaching from a teacher. And when sharing, students should use respectful but assertive like I assessment, like I feel sad when you don't let me play because I'm alone. So, students can work on active listening and paraphrasing when they check for understanding. And last, brainstorm the solution. So, the student can work together to find a solution that is acceptable to both. So it means like students can work together to find a solution, and this is a good time for students to learn to compromise. It can be helpful for a teacher to start the discussion with some suggestion, but it's best that the ideas come from the student. So it's how to resolving conflict in the classroom. So next there is a there is a simple way teacher can focus on peacemaking. Okay, so there is a six simple ways teacher can focus on peacemaking. The first there is a directly teach students the skills they need to work in partners or group, including the importance of communication needs, setting goals, and what to do if something goes wrong. And next, encourage students to role-play situations that require empathy, communication, and problem solving. And the third, there is a help students see how their action impact others both positively and negatively. And the fourth, teach students your process for resolving classroom conflict before issues come up. This way, students are prepared to take an active role in resolving their problems. And in five, remember that conflict often arises from a combination of fear, anxiety, or frustration. help students learn to recognize emotional triggers and manage them in healthy ways, such as with mindful activities, movement, or reflection. And last, listening. Many conflicts start because of misunderstanding or miscommunication. Teaching students good listening habit can be an important tool. This is a good opportunity to let students realize the power of listening. So this is the simple way teacher can focus on peacemaking. Okay, so we are in the part two, solving the problem. So I'm already solving all the problem and the number for the number one. The problem is Mr. Eleazar repeatedly had problems when leading a class discussion with his junior high school student. No matter how involved in the topic, the students, where there were usually several students sitting in the back would talk, shout out silly answers, and play with objects they had brought from home. So, to solve this problem, uh, when, distru- when destructive behavior occurs, address it promptly and calmly. Use nonverbal cues such as eye contact or proximity to signal disapproval, and then follow up with verbal reminders of the classroom. Avoid engaging in the power struggles or escalating the situation, and use a variety of teaching methods such as a group discussion, debates, multimedia presentation, and hands-on activities to keep students interested and involved. And the last, the most important, is take the time to build positive relationship with all your students, including those who are prone to destructive behaviors, show genuine interest in their life, hobbies, and concerns. Students are most likely to behave well for teachers they trust and respect. Okay, for the next problem, number two. Okay, next for the problem number two. Devana was one of the most provocative and disruptive students Miss Jayendra had ever taught. Throughout class, he continuously talked to girls and teased students sitting near him. He met inappropriate and sarcastic remarks in response to almost anything Miss Jayendra said. When comforted by her, Zevano breathed charmingly and responded with exaggerate courtesy to the delight of his other student. Okay, for solve this problem, the first thing that must do is establish clear rules and expectations for behavior from the beginning. Fully communicate to the entire class what behavior is acceptable and what is not tolerated. Then speak to Stefano privately about his behavior, avoid publicly confronting him, as this may escalate the situation or provide him with an audience for his destructive behavior. And the last thing is help Stefano understand the impact of his behavior on others by encouraging empathy, discuss how his actions affect the learning environment and the feelings of his classmates. For the last problem, it's about Miss Miss Yeheskelia was concerned about the frequent teasing that had begun in her class. It reached the point where there was constant bickering among the students. They became so angry and began yelling, shouting, and stabbing one another during class. So for the solving this problem, reinforce classroom rules regarding respect, kindness, and conflict resolution. Clearly communicate that teasing, yelling, shouting, and physical aggression are unacceptable behaviors, and provide opportunities for students to express their feelings and concern in a safe and structured manner. Encourage active listening and empathy among students to promote understanding and resolution. Foster a positive classroom culture by promoting teamwork, collaboration, and mutual respect. encourage students to celebrate each other's difference and appreciate diversity. So, this is how we solve the problem uh, for the three number. And I for the conclusion, conflict of various types have always been present in the classroom, and the causes that originate them are of great importance, as they allow a better conflict understanding and consequently a more correct interpretation to its management. It should be noted that personal harmony and the development of attitudes that promote understanding, dialogue, and tolerance are indispensable for negotiating conflicts in the teacher-student relationship. Okay, so thank you for watching my video, and I hope what I explained was conveyed. And I apologize if there are any wrong words. And wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.